own efforts and with assistance from partners, development partners, and so on. And I think we made progress, so that by the time we were independent for a decade or so, we could point to actual improvements in some of these, many of these.
In 1978, the PPP suffered a setback. A vote of no confidence was, the motion of no confidence was passed upon you by the late Sheriff Mustafa Diba. It did not work out though, because it was unanimously outvoted. But what gave rise to that vote of no confidence? Which in fact led to Sheriff Diba breaking away from the PPP and started NCP. He passed the motion of no confidence, which was, of course, played down in the House of Representatives at that time. That was in 1978.
And what is your question?
Why did he pass a vote of no confidence?
Well, maybe he wanted to break up, or to bring down my government, and of course in a democratic constitution, I mean, he has a right to pass any motion in Parliament, and he exercised that right, but it was turned down. I don't know what was the majority, but what turned it down must be a big majority. So, I mean, he's
how would you view that? Because at independence, the late Sheriff Mustafa Diba was your first, after Republican status, he was your first vice president.
Yes,
he was at number 2 Marina Parade while you were at number 1 Marina Parade.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Why should he do that?
But we should ask. I suppose he wanted to take power from me constitutionally. I mean, instead of staging a coup, he went to Parliament to support him, and he failed. Well, that's how I see it. You know? I think under our Constitution, he has the right, as a member of Parliament, to propose something in Parliament, and it was debated on. That was constitutional. It was not unconstitutional. So, I mean, you can't, if he has succeeded, well, I'd have to say, the Parliament, based on this constitution, this thing, has passed no confidence on me, therefore I have to act accordingly. But then it failed.
It did fail.
So the question is not around. I won't blame him.
No.
You know, he was, I mean, he can be anything. If he had tried to displace me unconstitutionally, then you could say, well, he did something wrong.
Up to 1992, which saw the last time you went to the polls, your party has done very well in elections. What was responsible for that?
For the success of our elections?
Yes.
Well, I think
you're having victory all the time.
Well, I think it's because the people want to vote for us. We didn't force them to vote for us. I mean, I think we can claim, I always claim, that we had free and fair elections. Absolutely free and fair. So if in free and fair elections, people can vote you down. If they don't vote you down, you don't blame them, you thank them for voting, continue to vote for you.
I would like to ask you this question. It's very sensitive though.
Yeah.
You have always not been very much in for a confederation with Senegal, was of a federation. But in 1981, after the unsuccessful rebellion of Kukoy Samba Sanyanga, you went for a confederation with Senegal. Why did you do that?
Well, it was a complex consideration on what is best for our country, what is best for our people. And at that stage, the question of association with Senegal has always been on, even long before independence and with independence. And we even appointed international experts to look into this, and and the recommendation came, appointed by the United Nations. The appointment came, Divan Mook, I think, commission, and they more or less said, okay, well, these are neighbors, they can live, decide themselves, what they do with their independence. So, but at that stage, after the coup in 1981, 82, in consultations with Senegal, we decided to come together in a confederation. And my party and I agreed to go into a confederation. And all the documents which are submitted based on the confederation bring out as the first clause in the agenda that these two parties, the Gambia and Senegal, will maintain, they will work together so that each of them maintains their sovereign independence. This is always the very first item in the document. And that was our main consideration. And therefore we went for a confederation. That is the coming together
of
two or more states, working closely together, but each maintaining its sovereignty and independence. So we agreed on it. And as long as it remained as that, I thought it was in the interest of the Gambia to opt for that. And if it worked well, it will also help a lot on the security side. And some of our small, poor country, it would have helped a lot on security, not only security in the Gambia, but also security in Senegal.
Today we mark 47 years of our sovereignty. In 2001, an amnesty was offered to you to return home. Today you're an elder statesman. What are you impressed about in this country today, as spearheaded by the present President, Sheikh Professor like Dr. Yahya A.J.J. Jammeh?
Oh yes, well, if you read, I covered this in my autobiography. I was expecting something other than an amnesty, because there was no question, I was not convicted.
Not at all, not at all.
But in the framework in which it was said and the discussions we've heard, I thought, well, this is just, we should forget about
the nomenclature. It's just, yeah, exactly.
The fact is that as reconciliation, the president was anxious for reconciliation and so on and that coming back. I was also anxious to come home, to be to my people, to my extended family, to the people of the Gambia. And